Hey guys, Rich here with another Transformers action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Battle Ops Bumblebee. Now this thing is a huge figure. Just to quickly put it in scale, here's a deluxe Bumblebee, which is the Battle Blades Bumblebee, in Transformer mode, just like in robot mode. I mean, the vehicle is huge. It's just massive. It's just very large. It's a very big figure. One problem that I have with the vehicle mode is it rolls okay, but it's, if you look here on the bottom, show you kind of like this, you can kind of see how the tires are just barely over any of this plastic. So if you're pushing this on carpet or anything that's not exactly as flat as it could be, it may not roll perfectly, and that's kind of a downside to the vehicle mode, is that it is a big heavy figure. You don't really notice how heavy it is. If you have it in robot mode, it's a heavy figure, but when you get it like this, it's like a brick. It's kind of funny about how heavy it is, but it's still a very cool figure. Show you more of the detail here. There's a license plate here on the back. It's got some other cool stuff. It looks very accurate to the movie, and even has the words Camaro on both sides. So here he is. And then if you flip under, like I was kind of showing you before, you can kind of see the robot mode, but it looks pretty good. That's the one thing I like about this figure, is it kind of does look like under a car. And the only thing that really kind of shows it off that it's not is the fact that this is going to be Bumblebee's waist, so the license plate goes right up above his crotch. And the license plate's here, and you're like, wait a second. Oh.
Nobody can catch Bumblebee.
Yeah. Each Bumblebee's transformations has two phrases that it says, and there's actually four transformations technically. Four modes. You have vehicle mode, then you have vehicle mode with the weapons, which I'll show you here in a moment. Then you have robot mode, then you have robot mode in battle mode, which is where his mask comes down. So every time you do that, there's two different phrases. So right now there is this phrase. You push the button right here in the center. You can see the lights light up. Okay, that's it.
Nobody can catch Bumblebee.
So actually there's four phrases when he's in vehicle mode, like this vehicle mode. Now, if you want to transform him and get him so that he can use his weapons in vehicle mode, because he can do that, what you'll do is you open these doors, and I don't really like these doors because I'll show you in a moment. Alright, see, now when we had the door, remember, it was completely closed. Now, when it's open, it doesn't seem to close right. It's because on the inside here, the door actually slides down to fit into the door compartment area. I don't like that, because it makes me feel like when I'm trying to open the door, I'm going to end up breaking it. So if you get this for a child, just note that, that might be a problem for you as a parent, or, if you're trying to get it as a gift for a friend or a brother or something. Just remember that that's kind of a possible problem. Now you have to pop up the windshield here, get it so that it disconnects here from the top, pull it back, and then you'll see you've got both the guns here. You just flip these up. You can make the transforming sound as the weapons come out. Now what you want to do, and this part's a little difficult, you have to kind of take the front of the hood here and kind of slide it underneath the weapons and kind of pick it up a bit and then snap it in place. I'm not a huge fan of that. I would rather the guns kind of pop out from maybe inside the hood, or I'm trying to get this door back on. Or maybe if the guns could flip out of the side or something else. I just don't really like the fact that in order to get the weapon mode out, you have to actually kind of start transforming the whole figure just to get him out. Now, he is here in vehicle mode, I guess battle vehicle mode, whatever you want to call it. He's got guns and he's a car. So you got the guns out now. Those are here, and they don't rotate. They do go up and down though. And you can see that there's a light in each of the center. See, that's kind of reflecting. Now we push the center button, and now he's going to make different sounds. So that was the sound of the guns firing and that really loud screech, and then we have another one. The lights light up too.
Somebody call it that, 'cause these puppies are sick.
That's got to be my favorite line that he says out of all the different modes. So anyway, Here's the vehicle mode. An overall rating of this, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm close to a 4, but not. I don't really like the doors. I don't really care for how the guns transform out of the windshield, basically, out of the inside of the car. And I don't really care for how it kind of rolls. But the rolling isn't as important to me as the fact that transforming the doors, getting the doors so that the guns can come out. I'm worried about the doors breaking, so I'm not a big fan of that. But overall, 3.5 out of 5 for the vehicle mode. Now for robot mode. Okay, now we have the figure in robot mode. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I show the transformation? Because a lot of people they show the transformation while they're transforming the figure from either robot mode to vehicle mode or vice versa. The reason I didn't do that was because it actually takes several minutes to actually transform him, and I didn't want to bog this video down with that, so I wanted to get right into the actual review of it. Alright, so here is Bumblebee, how you get him out of the box. This is how he actually is in the box, so when you just pull him out, he's already in robot mode. One thing you might notice that's missing is this ring thing here that you can connect. Actually, it comes off of the bottom of Bumblebee. Right here at the bottom of his arm, his right arm, you'll see there's this little peg area. You just slide that little ring thing in there, you just kind of poke it in. And what it basically is for is so that you pull it, and Bumblebee transforms his arm. You can hear the gun charging, and when you let go, it's supposed to slide back. And that's like the sound of him firing his gun. The light only actually lights up his thumb, not the other 3 fingers. And, I know this is kind of picky, but when I look at the other 3 fingers, you can tell that they're smaller than they are on the left hand. And, that's just kind of like, I don't know why they did that. I'd rather them be the same. Even if they're small, I'd rather them be smaller than one be bigger. Now, for the rest of this, I'd say they did a pretty good job designing it. I'm not a real big fan of the feet because the feet don't seem right to me. I thought in the movie, going by memory here, that the feet actually have a piece that goes across the bottom. He still has the 2 toes, but, it's not like it's 3 toes kind of holding him up. It was actually like a foot. So that's not the greatest. He can actually stand pretty well, which is good. And you get him in a good number of poses. And I'll show you some more of the posability here in a moment. The weapons, he has a lot of different weapons. Well, 3, I guess. I guess that's a lot. He has the arm plasma cannon, and then he has the 2 shoulders, which shoulder machine guns, cannons that he had when he was in vehicle mode. Now you'll notice here he has the gun mode, the transforming the gun arm, and then if you push the center button, listen to him, show you the lights and stuff too. That's one line.
I'm so excited! Time to take out the trash. I will protect you.
So there's like 3 lines, basically. Now what you want to do, if you actually want to put him into battle mode, so now he's going to have the different phrases. Right here at the top of his head, you're going to flip up this little piece, and then you're going to slide down this little like panel thing on the top of his head. You just slide it down. And when you slide it down, it puts him into battle mode. You get it all the way down. There we go. You can see his eyes are still glowing. So now, we'll go ahead and listen to his lines. It's one line. There's 3 lines for that. And then if you... So like every time you transform his mask, I didn't really catch that one, but he has a lot of different lines. There's a lot of different lines. I'm not exactly sure of how many exactly, but he's definitely... This one definitely has way more lines than the leader class Battle Blades Optimus does with just the leader class Optimus. That Optimus only has like 2 lines. There's one transforming, and then like he has a phrase. Like the Battle Blades one, or not Battle Blades, the Battle Hooks version is like, we must stop the Decepticons. So this Bumblebee, for his price, actually has a lot of different lines that he gets to say, instead of just being like the same 2 over and over and over. And then all the different modes you put him in changes what he says. So I think that is actually a really cool thing. And for kids who like their figures to have, those lines or something that might be from a movie or just be more representation of the character, I think that's good. Now for the posability or the articulation of the figure, what you can get him to do, we'll start with the shoulder cannons. They're the same still, they just go up and down. The head cannot look up except that if you kind of transform it, and it can't really rotate a whole lot either. Actually, not at all. It can't rotate, and I'm sure that's because of the wiring inside. So you can't turn it. No waist articulation at all. Up here at the shoulder, the shoulder can go out pretty far on the left arm. It can go forward, it can go backward. If you move the wheel out of the way, you can go backward. The elbow has articulation, go up and down, and it can also rotate 360. The hands have 3 different points of articulation. You have the thumb that moves on its own. There's like a little bit here at the wrist, so it moves, and then the fingers also move. Now, I'm not a big fan of this hand because there's not a lot of range of articulation here to be able to get it in different poses. Like if you wanted to get him into like a fist, because as a kid you want your figures to be able to like fight each other and stuff. He can't really make a fist. He can kind of slap you, but he can't really do that. And I mean, if you wanted, he can kind of do some bad hailing and stuff. But we're not promoting that. The right arm can go, because there's a difference with the cannon, because it's like spring activated. The arm does not go up and down. Oh, I did not realize there's a red button right here. That's kind of cool. There's a lot of buttons on this. I try to do the reviews and I know everything about the figure going into it, but sometimes with these bigger figures, there's a lot of surprises, and they're still new to me. Anyway, with the right arm, if you push the gun up, right? You push the gun, pull the arm up, it transforms the gun, and then it's going to sit there and make that sound for a while. And it does eventually stop, but, it's kind of still irritating at first when it keeps doing it over and over and over. And then, let's see if you... So if you have the gun transformed, and then you push this red button, he actually can shoot it, instead of you having to, like, push this down, and then, like, it makes the firing sound. So that's kind of cool. But as far as that, there's not a lot of articulation there, because, it's kind of all wired and activated for sound effects and everything, so there's not a lot else you can do. Now with the legs here, if we have this part flipped in the right place, the legs can go out pretty wide. I mean, that's really far. Then you can kind of pull them up a bit, and then pull them back. The thing that's kind of making some tension is this black piece right here, and it's a bendable plastic, so you don't necessarily have to worry about breaking it for a while. But I'm just kind of worried that as you bend it more and more, that it's going to end up one day breaking. So I'm not exactly sure of the longevity of this figure. It's kind of upsetting. Just because, I don't know, when I get a figure, when I was a kid, when I got a toy, I always wanted the toy to like last forever. So if I wanted to sell it or if I wanted to give it away, it still worked. I didn't want it to break in a couple months or a couple days even. So I don't know about that. The knee has a pretty good amount of articulation as far as bending backwards. It can even actually bend forward a bit too, so you can get some good poses out of that. It also rotates up here at the knee, so you can twist it, so you can have them posed. And then the toe has some articulation, and then like the back 2 toes, they kind of move as well. So you can get him in some pretty cool poses. So there's a lot you can do with this figure overall. And overall, I would give it the rating. I mean, the level of difficulty to transform this on the box says it's advanced, and I would agree with that. It is advanced. As far as maybe giving this to a child as a gift for Christmas, or just a birthday, or just for the sake of giving them a toy, or maybe buying it for yourself to put in your collection, I would probably end up giving this figure a 4 out of 5. The transformation of this is not too difficult, but it might be too difficult, too hard for some kids. So you'll have to be the judge of how maybe, I guess, ready your child would be for this toy. On the box, let me look and see, what does it say? Does it say the ages? It says ages 5 and up. Yeah, right. I would not give this to a 5-year-old. I would not. I would probably not even give this to anyone under 10, just because you don't want to break anything. Obviously, it's a very expensive figure. It's one of the most expensive Transformers there's ever been, as far as mass-produced one in the stores. So you'll have to be the judge, obviously, as being the parent, or just getting it as a gift for somebody. Just be the judge of, do you think they could handle this without breaking it? Because personally, I would recommend getting the Battle Blade Bumblebee as a really great deluxe version. I mean, this figure right here costs maybe $10 to $12 depending on the store, while this one can cost $50 to $60 depending on the store. So price-wise, I'd probably go with this one. But this I'm actually pretty impressed with how it ended up turning out, with all the different sounds it makes. the buttons and it stands. I would personally like a little bit more articulation, like in the hand, kind of getting some other stuff there, maybe a fist or something, but that's just me. Overall, 4 out of 5, good figure. Hasbro did a good job on this one. I would recommend it. Pick it up, maybe for yourself if you really like the character Bumblebee. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments or questions about this figure, post it down below. I'll try my best to answer you as best I can. Thank you very much for watching, and see you guys around. See you guys.